everybody. Welcome back to Orange Gum. You are here with Wendy T and Hope Skibitsky. But today, we also have a pretty extraordinary guest. And if you're seeing it right here on my screen, she's here. So we have Haley McClain. Wendy has done nothing but brag about her over the course of time, how brave, how fearless, how strong, how incredible. And I thought, I want to be a part of Haley. Like, why
Right.
drag me in the
My
middle?
friends all need to know each other. I say that often.
Yeah. So we are firm believers in multiplying, right? Not dividing, and in making your circle bigger and finding good people to keep in your company. And so we're here today to kind of dig into those dark, ugly spots in our mind. We're going to talk about the inside out, turning those doubts into action. Haley, tell us a little bit about the doubts that dig around in your skull.
Oh, okay. Spicy topic, ladies. I love this.
Mhm.
So, Hope, Wendy, again, thank you for having me. This is super exciting. Well, I feel like I'll start off with the doubts that have literally came up yesterday. How about that? We
Do
can
it.
talk about something super fresh. I am about to hit year 3 in my business, Torch. And sometimes I feel like people think it could get easier over time and, oh, she's been doing this and it's getting bigger and bigger every year. But then those things that come up are very unexpected, whether that's figuring out how to grow your team now, whether that's figuring out how to handle this new financial scope of like budgeting and, okay, you're making more sales, but how do you really optimize these experiences? And how do we give back to our community of thousands of people now? It's not just, oh, one or two people. So there's a lot of doubts that come in my head. I'm like, first of all, am I capable of continuing to grow this, or should I just scale back and stay in my comfort zone? Or another fun one is somebody else better now that when you go from like a startup baby to more of a small to mid-level business, maybe somebody else is better for this position. Maybe I'm just the idea girl. Maybe I'm just the person to throw things out there, but I can't execute. That's another doubt.
Keeping going is scary.
Yeah.
It's sometimes easier to get started than it is to keep going, even though like driving a stick shift vehicle, like first and reverse are the hardest, but sometimes even after you get out of first, you're like, keeping going is scary.
Yes.
Like when you're on the hill.
Yeah, I want to pick on you, Wendy, because when you and I
Yes.
first met, you were this bombshell, stick of dynamite,
Correct.
soft.
Still a bombshell.
You're still a bombshell. You are still a bombshell,
Yes,
but
she is.
you were like literally fierce, fearless, big, fill the room, all these things. And then I watched you go through these periods of like doubt. And
Mhm.
today I have watched you come back into this thing that I'm like, I'm so proud of you. Tell me about your doubt, honey.
Man, I tell you, I watched I watched a podcast that I did with Josh White recently, and it was a while ago, right? But I was just rewatching it, and I was like, man, alive, that same dang doubt that I had talked about on his podcast. It bites me every single time. Like I struggle with this one area of feeling not credible. And so the second that I feel like somebody might not think that I'm credible, I kind of crumble, and so it's hard for me to feel very confident in those moments. And looking inward, I start to like just start to believe things that are not real.
Yeah. And we
And
catastrophize, right? We catastrophize. We'll tell ourselves, well, maybe I'm just, not as good at that thing as I used to be. And then it's like, well, you find one more thing that maybe you're not that good at. Next thing you know, you are literally self-loathing.
so, and that has been, like there's been a few of those instances where I see that repeat cycle, and I'm like, man, I've seen this happen like on a couple of different instances and I still struggle. So, when I met Haley on a panel and I heard her answer this question about like when I have doubt, I focus on me. I get a coach, I go to the gym, I do, very like value added activities. And I was like, I need to carry her in my pocket.
That's good. Haley, when you got
Mhm.
into this business, so first, tell me the name of your business.
It's called Torch Warrior Wear.
Torch Warrior Wear. I do know what it
Mhm.
is because Wendy was bragging about it a lot when we very first were sitting on a uniform board, and they were like, "Well, what if we?" And they were like, "Wait, that's already a thing." We were like, "No way." So anyhow, where did you feel the most doubt when you were right on the precipice of I do this or I don't?
I think it's the most doubt is like it's seriously now is really the most doubt, I think.
Oh,
Now when I started, like you said, it was just like firing ideas and going for it and just having fun and saying whatever. I also was still in the military, so I had a check coming in. It was less stressful. It was more of like, oh, I'm just exploring a passion project. Now it's like this is my full-time baby. I have national recognition from like Shark Tank. People are reaching out to me internationally, and now it's more of like, did I build something that I can't control? And I think that's where the doubt comes from now.
yeah, I struggle with some of that doubt where I feel sometimes like somebody's going to find out that I don't know. Not that I'm afraid to admit I don't know. If I don't know something, I say it. But even like to Wendy's point, when Wendy says someone will believe I'm not credible. And unlike Wendy, Wendy will run out and get every certification in 19 different degrees and all those things because she will prove those people wrong. And I'm just like, I have tons of institutional knowledge and lots of years of experience. But
Mhm,
I'm
mhm.
like, I'm like, oh, I feel like I know exactly what I'm doing, what I'm talking about, but I often feel like someone's going to look at me and doubt my capability, credibility when they don't even need to because I'm already in it.
Mm. Do you think it's because of some like for me, I feel like the doubt comes from me not having my 100% crap together, like behind the scenes. So it's like it's those aspects that I'm like, oh, if I had everything together, then I would feel more credible or feel more like forward facing. But we're all human, right? We're never gonna have 100% of everything together.
Mine is more of I think, an unknown. Like I'm a planner. I often have event letdown. I love planning. I put the event together. I check all the boxes. I run through all the things. And then when the event gets there and I'm like walking around like a batch of sour grapes and people are like, Hope, are you mad? I'm like, no, like the event's fun and all, but I'm like, the planning was my favorite part. Like when the planning's done, like now what?
We are opposites. I am like party, the events here, don't want to do anything with the planning. Like
But I often feel like the same thing when I'm in a thing. Like I don't yet know what's next. I haven't planned the what's next. I don't know other people's thoughts. I don't know how to execute off of their thoughts. And I think sometimes because there is that unknown, I start to drive uncertainty in myself.
it's the fluidity. It's like being able to show up and be like, all right, what happens now? And just kind of like enjoy what happens next. Okay, that's my specialty. I can help you with that, Hope. The rest of the planning stuff, like I'm like, I need somebody for that. I need you, Hope. How about that? I need you. Perfect
Make a
team.
pretty good trifecta here, right? Wendy could be the
Um,
brains behind this. I could be all of the like checklisting, and you could be the brawn. Make sure that
Definitely. I will come with the charisma, the energy, the day of the event, and we'll just have fun. Absolutely. That's my thing.
No, you guys are both a lot of good energy.
You too, Wendy.
we
I'm
talk
just here to
about
assist.
working things from the inside out. Wendy, how do you overcome that doubt enough to get through the thing?
I don't know that I am actually really good at that. I just tell you what, I have really good friends who remind me to believe in me,
I tell you that
and
all the time.
I know you do. I know because you've had to do the heavy lifting on a couple of occasions now. So, when I struggle with remembering who I am, like, what's that? Oh, like, what's that word when people are like gaslighting you kind of thing, when you were like, did that just happen? And so I'll really struggle and, replay something in my mind and just think like, am I on crack right now? Did that play out like I think it did, and I'll just really start to not believe in me. And I tell you, my good friends are just they always believe in me.
Yeah.
1000% of the time. I mean, I have really good friends. And
Yeah.
so it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter who the other people are. Like my friends, 1000% of the time have my back. And so they will continue to remind me like that narrative is not real.
So I think this is where sometimes if you can't, like, that grappling hook, throw it up out of the tunnel and pull yourself out, sometimes you have to have somebody up there that drops a rope to help pull you out. And I think you do a really good job of relying on your friends, calling on help, that sort of thing. I oftentimes just, muddle around in it and kind of hope it gets better. And people will come to my aid without me even asking. My sister, Louise, is one of my biggest hype men. She will tell me all the time, Hope, like you're a good human. You work really hard, like all these things. And I'm like, yeah, but she's like, stop it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, the limiting beliefs are there, the yeah buts and stuff. It happens to all of us, and I think that it's funny you say your friends just kind of will reach out to you randomly. My friend will call me and she'll just one statement always, just stay elevated, and I'm just like, okay, we're staying up here. I'm like, thank you. I know. She said just a quick little text, like a little fairy emoji. She's like, stay elevated. And I'm just like, all right. It kind of reinvigorates you. So shout out to Brandy. She's my girl.
Oh, that's good. I do like that. Wendy says all the time that Tammy messages her every single morning to make sure she's alive. And it isn't just about, hey, wingman check, are you blinking and breathing? It's about there is somebody in the universe that cares enough about you and thinks enough about you to make it their daily action to reach in and see how you are. I'm sorry, honey. I do think about you every day. But it's just one of those things that sometimes when you are in this world of like doubt, because and this is a Hope Skibitsky shortfall, like if somebody knocks a leg out from underneath me, proverbially speaking, like because they question me, even though I know what I'm doing or I feel confident in what I'm doing, or something happens, I will literally, it is hard for me to kind of like muscle back up and get through that, partly because those are the times when estrogen wants to jump out of my face, and it just really pisses me off because I can't like keep it. Ugh.
Yes, we are women. We are emotional. I have really learned to, even with my boyfriend, like just really lean into that some days where I just like kind of look at him. I'm just like, I am needing a cry right now, or I am needing that, and allowing that softer feminine side to just be like, okay, I can't right now. And so, in communicating, like you said, just trying to be very open with my communication of exactly how I'm feeling. I'll try to journal it out if it's really not coming out the way that I want to come out, like verbally. I'll try to journal it out. It's just working through it. You can't try to put it to the side. You have to just, like you said, inside out. It's just like working through it, working through it, working through it.
That's right.
Yeah. No, see, I have tissues everywhere. My friends know. My friend, look, it's like dental floss. I keep that stuff everywhere.
So here's
the dental
me.
floss for sure.
Here's me. I'm all like, oh, I could get a pint of ice cream, a warm blanket, and a good like soldier comes home video and cry my eyes out, right? And Wendy's like, I just cried my eyes out when I opened the fridge. What do you mean? Like,
I love that. I'm somewhere in between there. I'm somewhere in between. The ice cream sounds very good, and the warm blanket amazing.
Yeah, I used to tell everybody. I used to have 3-ways with Ben and Jerry's.
Absolutely, I agree. Same.
it's so good. So I often wonder though, like how other people do the get over doubt, especially when you don't have time to wallow in it. Like you're just about to do a thing, or you're about to interact with somebody who in the past has made you feel little. And you've got to not demonstrate that littleness now, because it is not going to bode well for you. I know that for me, the best way to do it is just do it. Like if my pool is not 92 degrees, I'm not getting in it. And my husband's like, Hope, it's 87. It's fine. I'm like, no. If it's not 92, I'm not getting in it. And he's like, just get in. And so sometimes if I just like jump in, I can do it, even though I really don't want to, and I'm scared and it's hard. And so not that I can liken doubt necessarily to what other people would already deem a warm pool. It's outside of me. But is that what you guys do? Like, how do you quickly overcome doubt in a scenario or in a time when you just don't have time to talk yourself back in off the ledge?
Hmm. Ooh, this is a good one. Well, I kind of want to hit on that part you were saying about like if you have to meet somebody who has made you feel small or made you feel that doubt in yourself. I'm ultra competitive. So for me, it's showing up like Wendy says. For me, it's like, okay, next time I see this person, I'm gonna be more fit. My outfit's gonna be bomb. I'm gonna make sure I have all my friends around me. I'm gonna be throwing a party this night. I'm gonna be like I try to come hard in like the competitive. So I don't even have my actions and them just seeing me speaks more than me even having to like approach that person.
What if
So
you're in
I
the
like to
grocery?
in the grocery store. Okay, I don't let people bother me like this. I don't know, Hope. I just am like I have way too many things to be worried about anybody else. I don't know. That's how I feel. I'm like way too preoccupied with all my other things to be like allowing somebody in the grocery store to be bothering me. Like, hello, goodbye, great.
I'm gonna pretend I don't see you.
Well, I mean, I think that's even less. I think that shows them that you care. I think you should acknowledge and then keep it moving, and then there you go. Try to be as normal and calm as possible. That's my thing. Just be cool. Be cool about it.
I like that. Honey, what about you? How do you
I don't know that I have mastered that. If I had to run into the person that has like wounded me, like if they've wounded you, I feel sorry for them.
I know you are vicious when people hurt other people.
I know it's really ugly. Um, but if they've wounded me, like I'm like a basket case. Um, so I don't know that I have like resolved that. I am like I spend a lot of time with other people to try and help me heal. You know, like I'm I have been on like perpetual vacation because I have just been visiting everybody over the last year. I've
Really
been
do go
traveling
everywhere.
everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm hugging all the faces, right? Like
Oh.
like that helps me feel like full. So, so
Hmm.
then like I don't feel like that. There's no room for that hurt now because like I feel very loved.
I don't think that I like wallow in doubt because I feel like I'm a pretty confident human, right? And I feel like I'm confident because I do make sure I have all my like stuff in one sock. Like I'm good to go. But
Yeah.
I do know that there are people who are really, really good at things that I am just so not like remotely strong at. And whenever they're like, you should come do it with me. And I'm like, they almost invite me because they are demonstrating their belief in my capability. And I'm still the one that's casting the doubt into the room because I'm like, I don't know, right? And they're like, no, really. And so sometimes I am my own worst enemy.
My goodness, it's for me it's like you have to say F it, whatever. You just have to do it. Someone
Just
invites you to
jump
go play
in.
basketball, jump in the pool, okay, this is gonna be interesting. And if it gets to the point you're super uncomfortable, you're like, all right, I tried it. You try everything once, right? And then you're like, all right, they keep moving. I don't know. That's my thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's like dance
It'll be
parties.
fun. Yes, it'll be fun. Yeah.
Well, I'll
Hmm.
tell you, I had several opportunities throughout the course of my military time where people were like, Chief, do you want to go jump out of the airplane with me? We can do it tandem. And I was like,
She's like hard no.
No, that's just stupid. Okay, that's different than like a dance party. Wendy said dance party. You said jumping out of the thing. I would never do that either. Absolutely not. You can die. No, no. I wouldn't do that either, Hope. So you're good.
yeah. So
We're talking way different things. She's like, someone invited me to go jumping out of a plane. I'm like, oh no.
we're all
No,
like, no,
no. Absolutely not. We'll
Ugh,
be over here. We'll be at the dance party. Y'all can do that. We'll be over here.
right, right. So, but when we talk about turning doubt into action, it isn't necessarily like death-defying action, right? How though do we get on the other side of that imposter syndrome? Because
That's
I don't care who we are, and I don't care how upbeat we are, and I don't care how strong we are. Maybe now we're as strong as we, but there had to have been a point where you had a doubt or
so.
you were afraid of a thing. How did you get outside of that?
So I'll tell you, like, I mean, you guys are both like, you guys both are the world-class athletes, in my opinion. Okay. So for me, I have to, when I go, like workouts, when I started my workout routine, I needed somebody to go with me to the gym, you know, or I would like hire a personal trainer. And so it took me a long time. Now I can go into a gym, even if it's like if I'm traveling and I obviously am not familiar with that gym, but now I'm like okay with like wandering around and not feeling like everybody's looking at me because I don't know where I'm going. But when I first started, that just seemed so overwhelming that I didn't want to do it without somebody showing me around. Now it doesn't bother me as much. But I feel like that was like a doubt that I had to overcome and I needed somebody to help me with it, you know? So
Definitely.
whether that's like a professional coach or just phone a friend, you know, like somebody to do it with me,
So I
you
think
know?
that circles
Definitely.
back to my earlier analogous that you're just so good at, right? Like you are okay with shooting up that grappling hook and then like climbing up for help, where I'm like,
People, I mean, the bar is really low for me. People expect that I am not very capable, so it's okay. Like they're gonna meet me there.
I don't believe that. No, I'm the same way though, Wendy. I think when I first started working out, because when I was growing up, I was a dancer and cheerleader. We didn't really hit the gym. Like, so the gym was very foreign to me. When I moved here, my boyfriend's big into CrossFit gym stuff. He's like, let's go. And I needed him to walk me through it. I think at first it was frustrating because I was like, so good at this, but I'm not good at this. And that's like the frustration part. But then you kind of get like, okay, I'm here. And then one thing that really helps me, and that helps me now is when I feel that doubt coming, and then initially I start getting frustrated. I identify that and I say, okay, I need to start asking questions. I just need to start asking questions. Say, okay, look, I need everyone to be aware. I don't know what's going on, so everyone kind of knows. Like, I don't know what's going on. Let's put this baseline here. And then I start asking lots of questions and just clarifying. So then it kind of brings me out of the doubt as well, because I'm just like, okay, taking the ego away and just owning up to being like, I don't know what the heck is going on. That kind of helps me too.
yeah, I'm really good at that, actually. I've been told I'm too good at that you need to stop asking so many questions to make yourself look stupid. So
Oh, I don't believe in that.
I don't either, but I have been really good at saying, hey, when I know, I know. When I don't know,
Yep.
I really don't know. And I would be plenty okay with, hey, subject matter expert, please come teach me, come tell me a thing. And
Yes.
so I think that sometimes how I get myself out of doubt, if I could draw a parallel, you know how like they used to say that if you're going to go do public speaking, you're uncomfortable with it, just picture the audience in their underwear. Um, I have never had to do that. Public speaking is not my weak spot. But when I would sit at a table and sometimes feel like, you know, I just don't know enough to contribute to this conversation, or I'm just not like everybody else here is like higher level degrees or all these things, and my degree is just right. I would discount myself. The thing that would help me take action, and so this might be helpful to somebody else, is like when somebody gives you that advice to see the audience as if they're in their underwear. I would say if you start to feel that doubt, your silence makes it harder for others to speak up. And so I will often speak up in a room, not necessarily because I feel brave, but because I don't want to be the thing that sets us back. And so I will speak up in a room where I'm uncomfortable, or I will speak up in a room where I'm not the smartest person and contribute something that may or may not be valuable or be deemed valuable. But because I know that as soon as I set a precedent, it becomes sort of an expectation that she didn't say anything, she's got nothing to say.
Absolutely. Definitely. Yeah. And a good smile and a good question. If you're a good question asker too, that makes you feel like, especially in situations like that, you're engaged, but maybe you don't have that much to offer, but you can be engaged in what other people have to say as well. So asking good questions helps too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I read a really great book, and it talked a lot about how diversity and inclusion actually work. Like you hear it all the time, diversity and inclusion, diversity and inclusion. And Colon Lopez, CZ, says all the time that diversity is the library and inclusion is actually like using things from the library, pulling those books off the shelf. But I heard it said a different way, which I thought was really important. And I think it's just sort of reinvigorates my previous thought is they said if you're interviewing people for a job and you can only hire 2 people and you've got 3 candidates, you've got Bob and James and Janet, and you give them a 10-question test, and Bob and James get 8 of the 10 questions correct, and Janet only gets 3 of the 10 questions correct. Well, in your mind, if you can only hire 2, you think, wow, well, they answered 8 of the 10 questions correct, and I can only fill 2 spots. How about I just take Bob and James? But if you dig a little further, you see that both of the questions that Bob and James missed were in the 3 that Janet got right. And so even though Janet maybe wasn't all-encompassingly as good at whatever the one topic is, she filled the blind spot or made up the difference. And so by hiring one of each, you would allow yourself to cover the whole slate. And so it just gives you an opportunity to make sure that what one person is really strong at, someone else is making up their nexus.
Oh, love that, Hope. I love that so much. I use that all the time with when I'm hiring new people on. I think when I first started the company, I hired a lot of people who were similar to me. And now I actively look out for people who are completely different from me in strengths in other areas. And it's been so much better of a flow of my company now. And it's like, because you get comfortable with the people who are similar to you, but then you realize you're like, we're all blanking on that. We're like, oh, okay, we need this person who's a little bit different. And it's been a game changer.
Yes.
I love that.
Yes. And so Wendy, whenever you say you have the best friends, I look across the gamut of your friends and we couldn't all be more different if we tried. Like
100% true.
We are the 124 box of crayons, right?
It's true. It is so true.
I love
Like
that.
you've got engineers and scientists and people who work the front desk at IHOP. I'm making that up. But like you've got people that are master's degree, like knitting blankets. Because they, people have different flavors, different tastes, different adventures, but our commonality is we're good enough humans to fit into your circle and we all care about you, right? And so I think that where it comes to hype men or people that can support you in your first day at a weird gym or people that can encourage you to get back into a thing is like, you've got to have the different strings to pull. And you do a really good job of not just picking friends. I say it all the time. Wendy could be across a room, blindfolded in the dark, and pick an amazing friend. She's a good friend maker.
Yeah.
Oh, we love that, Wendy. Are you a Libra?
No.
I'm just kidding. You don't have to get into that. But
I often think of Legally Blonde, where she's explaining who she is.
Oh, the Gemini, right? Yeah.
We're Gemini, Sagittarius, and
Sagittarius.
Yep.
Right? Yeah, I love that movie.
It's a good movie.
It's my favorite.
It's good.
And great friends who are all incredibly busy. And I know, Haley, you have another engagement to go to. And so, but I always appreciate that you run a global empire and you still respond to all my texts.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
This was fun.
Thank you guys. No, I appreciate it. And Wendy, when you meet somebody good, it's like, all right, you got to stay connected with them. So I don't do that with everybody. Trust me.
Hey, you're stuck with me now.
Okay, Hope. All right. I got to find your stock photo somewhere and use it for all my campaigns.
Okay, so I could chat with you guys all day, but we have come to the end of our time. We're super glad for all of you who have joined us. Please remember, you can find us and watch us on YouTube. You can listen to us wherever you listen. You can go out and check our website at orangegumpodcast.com. You can send us an email at what is the correct address, because I've been getting it wrong, at the correct address, which is orangegumpodcast@gmail.com. Or just send us an email. Tell us what you want to hear. Tell us what you liked. Tell us what we could do a little differently. Tell us you want to come spend a little bit of time with us. We'd love to hear from you. And so until next time, take care, y'all.
Thanks, y'all.
Thank you. Bye.